Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and it is a busy day at Celtic Football Club. We've been waiting. We've been waiting for transfer rumours to roll out, so we have something to look forward to, something to get us more optimistic about the season ahead, and boy, we have transfer news coming out of our ears today. So, let's strap ourselves in, because this could be a fun week for Celtic if the reports are to be believed. Very quickly, we'll keep it short and sweet. If you haven't already, you know what to do by now. Go down below, hit like and subscribe. It would be much appreciated. So close to 40k. And look, listen, it gets you all your latest Celtic news, daily news. Aye, something like that. Like and subscribe. Thank you very much. Right, let's get into this. It's set to be a busy week at Celtic. Last night, as I was getting ready for bed, while I was lying in my scratcher, my head against the pillow, we got all the news. It started piling out. The ball got rolling in regards to transfer rumours, transfer news, and what we should look forward to in the last week of our window. And let me just start off with saying, in case you've been under a rock for the past 12 hours or so, it's good news. Brendan Rodgers wants 3 or 4 more signings before next Friday. That is the headlines. We've got news in regard to a bid on one player as well, but right now, as we know, as Stephen McGowan has reported via the Daily Mail, Brendan Rodgers wants 3 or 4 more signings to be completed before that window slams shut next week, which would be an extraordinary end to the window for us, and it's exactly what Celtic need to do. And the next week, they need to be ruthless, they need to be aggressive, they need to go out, put pen to paper for a few more players and strengthen this side and ready to get us ready to challenge for European football, to be good in those competitions, but to, you know, strengthen us domestically and make sure that we keep a firm grip on the top of Scottish football. As I said, it was Stephen McGowan through the Daily Mail that reported that last night. There has been more added to it, some more details today. Anthony Joseph of Sky Sports tweeted this, and this is the tweet that's going to put a smile on all of your faces. Celtic are likely to be busy before the end of the transfer window, with the club targeting a goalkeeper, left back and left winger as priorities. They would also be keen to bolster their centre forward options. A goalkeeper. So, if you were wondering what 3 or 4 positions that Brendan Rodgers wants to strengthen before the window shuts, there you have it right there. According to Sky Sports' Anthony Joseph, that's the 4 areas that Celtic are looking into. We are targeting the right areas. Those are the positions that I have been screaming for us to try and improve before this window shuts. Listen, I don't think we could have went wrong with maybe signing another right back as well, but those 4 areas are the priority. A goalkeeper, a left back, a left winger. And you could argue where the priority lies for a centre forward, but as I've said in prior videos, with O out, it showed you how thin we are in that area, and Dyson Maeda, there is question marks around him. So those are 4 areas that Celtic do need to strengthen. They need to get players in those positions. I think we'll all be relieved to see that we are actually interested in signing a keeper. I guess the main thing is here, where should we put our hope? Should we get them too high? Should we keep our expectations high? Because if it gets to next Friday and we've signed 2 players, not 4, and we've strengthened only 2 of these positions, we'll be incredibly disappointed. But I do believe that the club and Brendan Rodgers as well will be trying our best to actually go out and get this done. They must realise how much we need it. Those areas have been very evident throughout the opening games of this season that they need improvement. And honestly, I'm delighted to hear that it's happening. We obviously just need to sit back, wait and see what happens. We'll need to be quick with business, because by the time this video is up, we're just over a week away from the window closing. So that is a short period of time for Celtic to get all that business done. But listen, the last week of the window can always throw you the best signings. You know, fees drop down a little bit because clubs are willing to move out players and get it all finished and sorted. We've seen some of our best players in recent years coming in towards the end. I think back to that deadline day when we signed Giacomakis, Jota and Cameron Carter-Vickers. Listen, I'm going to be watching with a keen eye over the next week, and I'm very excited. The fact is, we have been linked with a left back. We have been linked with a left winger, which we're going to come on to. There has been small talk about a potential striker option as well. We are in a good position. It's just about obviously Celtic now going out and executing it. But I am glad we have managed to find out more about the areas that he wants to strengthen. Makes it a lot easier. On that note, Celtic look as though they have identified the left winger that they want to sign. We have not had to wait long for news on this. This also broke alongside that story last night. Stephen McGowan reported this late last night. He said that Celtic eye a £3.5 million move for Honduran winger Luis Palma. That was reported last night, and ever since that as well, it has been reported that Celtic have advanced in their talks. Anthony Joseph followed up with this morning. He said that Celtic are in talks with RSFC over a potential deal for winger Luis Palma. The Scottish champions have made an initial £3.5 million bid, which is believed to be close to the Greek club's valuation of the 23-year-old. Negotiations continue. So it is official, Celtic have reportedly made a bid for Luis Palma. It looks as though this is the guy they're going all in for on the left wing, and it's one that I am particularly excited about. So let's look at the player. Currently playing for Aris Saloniki in the Greek top division, the Greek Super League, Luis Palma has been tearing it up on the left wing. He's been very, very good for them. This is his stats on screen from recent years. As you can see, he's helped them get to Conference League qualifiers as well over the past couple of years. He has been chipping in. Last season in the league, he managed to chip in with 11 goals and 2 assists in league competition. He is a really tricky left winger. If you look at any of the videos or such that's already breaking about him or shown on Twitter about him, they all make him look a very good player. And he's someone who I look at right now, and you know, we talk about the Jota replacement, right? And this is a very bold claim. And this doesn't mean that I'm going to put all this expectation on him, right? But what I see of Luis Palma right now, I arguably think it looks better than what we knew of and what we've seen of Jota when we got him. But obviously we just need to wait and see. Luis Palma is someone who's very good at finishing. His expected goals numbers is fantastic. He's always working himself into good positions to get a shot away. He's good at obviously scoring goals from the left wing. He can be deployed either on the left or through the middle, mostly on the left, and that's where he'll give you his best football. But he is a Honduras international as well. He's made 6 appearances for the Honduras national side. But he's good. He can cut in, he can shoot, he can dribble. He's good at passing. As you've seen his numbers, he's got the assists, he's got the goals to back it up. He's someone who, right now, I think that £3.5 million makes it look a bit of a bargain for. And I think with a week to go in the window, this could be the guy that comes in to really replace Jota and do it well. I think he'll be good. I look forward to seeing this develop. Funnily enough, Luis Palma was linked with Rangers earlier in the transfer window. Back in May, it was reported that he was going to be the Ryan Kent replacement for the season that we are now currently in. That never happened. It never materialised. There's a number of reasons floating around why that might be. A lot of Rangers fans seem to be backtracking on him now when they were really eager to get him, saying that it was stuff to do with attitude problems. A lot of the initial reports suggest it was something to do with the financials in the deal, that it was maybe too much for Rangers to actually commit to. Look, whatever it is, I don't really care. What I am saying is Rangers were interested in the player, and I hope this is kind of like a John Hartson type scenario where, you know, he was close to signing for Rangers were interested or whatnot, he comes to Celtic and he's absolutely bloody amazing. That's the best case scenario. So bring him in, let's get him in the team and let's see how he does. Honestly, I think he looks brilliant for a left winger. He looks as though he really does know how to find the net. I mean, you look at his two. He's made just over, say, 100 senior appearances in football, 52 of them being with the Greek side Aris, where he scored 17 goals. He's assisted 11. Before that, he was back in Honduras. He was playing for Vida back then, and in 56 appearances, he scored 21. So, you know, you're looking at someone here who has scored almost 40 goals and just over 100 professional games from the left wing. That's a very good return. And that's someone who knows how to find the net right there. So I am seeing a lot of people getting kind of caught up on the whole project signing thing. I'm going to talk about that in a moment. I've got one hell of a bloody rant to go on. But I must say, I do like the look of this guy. And I say bring him in. £3.5 million, 23 years of age. We've not had a lot of luck with South Americans, but we have had luck with Honduras. Let's make that happen again. I'm going to finish off the video going on a little bit of a rant here, but I need to get some things off my chest because I am getting proper wound up with folk. And I just feel like I can't hold it in much longer. If you follow me on Twitter, if you don't, make sure and go follow me, by the way, you'd have seen me going off on one last night. And it's this whole, you can't please anybody. I honestly, once again, I was stressed this point. I just wish social media didn't exist. I know I wouldn't be doing what I do if it didn't exist, but I don't care. It's fine, I'd find something else to do. People are getting so touchy about who we try and sign this window. I don't know what people expect. Everybody's getting labelled with the project signing, yet people want us to be more like an Ajax, be more like a Brighton, be more like these clubs that we keep comparing ourselves to. Guess what? They make project signings. They pay money like this, or the equivalent in their respective divisions, to go and sign these younger players, to develop them, to sell them on. Celtic aren't going to sign the superstar you think they're going to sign, and the quicker that you accept that, the easier these transfer windows are going to become. Louis Palma, oh, utter shite, don't want him. Another project signing. Ryan Fraser, oh, he's past it, utter shite, don't want him. What do you want? What do you realistically expect Celtic to go out there and do? Because I see a lot of people going, oh well, hurry up and go and get Podence, he's a project superstar. There's not enough in that to suggest that Celtic are seriously going to be able to pull off a Daniel Podence signing. He's someone who's on 60, 70 grand a week down in England. There was small talk of Celtic being interested, nothing concrete, and it would be difficult for Celtic to pull off. And apart from him, nobody can name this other superstar that you realistically want us to go and sign. So everybody gets labelled with this project signing when, a matter of fact, basically all of our best signings over the past few years have been in similar sort of situations. People keep saying it's not the Jota replacement because we're not spending £7 million. Jota would never have signed for £6.5–7 million if we didn't loan him in the first place. And interestingly enough, if you go back on my channel and look at the day we signed Jota on loan when he first came into the club, a lot of people were like, oh, he's a dud, he's not going to be great, blah, blah, blah. His stat, he looks like he was a reject in Spain, reject at Benfica, why are we going for him? Things changed. A year later, he's a superstar and everybody wants to sign him. We knew bugger all about Jota when he came here. Guess what? He was a project signing. That's what he was. And we got incredibly lucky with how good he was and the fee that we put in there for the optional buy clause. And we made it happen. But he was a project. It was a risk and we took it and it worked out. Some risks work, some risks don't. Football, baby. People keep going on about, you know, oh, we're not spending £7 million on a player. And what? You go back over the last few years, we've only spent it on one guy, and I'm not going to count Vickers, Jota or Edouard, because why? We loaned them out first, and we knew what we were paying for. We only done it for one person, Christopher Jullien. Did you know anything about Jullien before he came to Celtic? No, you didn't. I didn't know who he was. Most of us didn't know who he was. What's the difference in us spending £7 million on Christopher Jullien and say £3.5 million on Gustav Lagerbielke? What's the difference? There's none, because we didn't know any of them existed. One was younger. That's the biggest difference. But at the end of the day, it's not like Jullien was guaranteed to come in here and be a masterpiece. He wasn't going to be the next big thing. And actually, when you think about it, that £7 million came back to bite us. Because he played about a year of football and then he was injured. And then we sold him for about £1 million. So how did that one work out, spending £7 million? Why do we get so worked up about this project signing thing and not throwing £7 million in a player? It doesn't register with me. It really winds me up, as you can tell. What I will finish off with on top of that rant is, I look forward to signing Louis Palma. Let's get it done. I'll get behind him like I get behind every signing. I can't wait, and hopefully we get the business done in the other 3 positions or so over the next week, because we could be in for an exciting end to the transfer window, as long as people stop moaning. God. Rant over. Let Brendan cook. Like and subscribe. I'll see you all next time.